Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on wherever you are. We are live on Uku and Beyond. Another beautiful day, a Monday, and Monday is a sign of hope. And we are here today, like we announced a few minutes ago, that we'll be live with the president of OCDA-USA, Ebchio Fai, Dr. Victor Nteck, who's going to join us and give us a review of how the OCDA-USA 2024 convention went. And my name is Ruth Ngong, and I'll be your host today. And I hope you're going to have a nice time. We'll invite you to share, tell us where you're watching from, invite others to watch and bring their questions. It's going to be a lovely show, and there's a lot we're going to learn because we're people who grow and learn. So much at the point we could do so Oku and Beyond Landing, Yelun Nteck USA, Ebchio Fai Victor Nteck. Bielu is in a land. So make sure you share and tell us where you're watching from. So without wasting much time, I'm going to bring on stage our Ebchio Fai and we'll get going. We could do a Vicky.
Well, no. You Texas.
Je me to Texas. A call on the Virginia Lana.
Yeah, Lola Hana, we go for Zola will
Vlam couldn't drop a good weekend. So, let's of Korea, Virginia land.
Okay, Lolan Namsham about settle a little kick. Catch you lemon. If you're actually for no banner, the began and young in the chair. Because you may leave for you on yellow and on a Alan Crip now. Macalula and the yellow for Bay Sharp language, irrespective of you are ruling the land, the lady midday. So,Lohana Task, a yellow youngsters realize the whole committee for now.
Wow, really. So, like I said, we are going to be doing a review of the OCDA-USA Convention, Maryland 2024. That's the main reason we are here today. We are going to touch some other nitty-gritties, of course, but that is our main theme. And we are very glad to have our Nteck. You know, USA is a quarter or a village in Oku, and we were blessed to have a new leader, traditional leader, by the phone, and he named him Nteck, Ebchio Fai Victor Nteck. So what does that mean to you? What does that mean to you first?
For me, it merely signifies the fact that we've gotten closer to our home-based population that we were in the past. Making the entire United States one of the villages in Oku, it simply says that going forward, we are closer to the palace than we have always been, and it's a wonderful opportunity for those of us who reside in the United States, because for a very, very long time it has been very difficult for us to feel that connection. And I think the new status that makes us feel like we are just in Oku, just makes us have the sense of belonging, which is very important.
Interesting. So yeah, I wanted to touch base with that title first before I get into the main crux of the matter. So we had at our theme, building generations, honoring our past, building our future. I know that was addressed before, but what do you think about this theme? Did it resonate during this convention?
I think it did. If you look at the various activities, those who participated in the activities, the outcome of what we achieved as a people, then it points to the fact that the theme for this year was really what should have just been the theme, given the circumstances, given the kind of convention we had this year. I think we didn't miss anything out of that theme.
Okay. And one of the major things of this convention, building generations, honoring our past, building our future, was the visit. The big icing on the cake was the visit of the Fon of Oku. How does his presence in the USA during this important convention tie with with that theme?
Like I said before, when you look at the just the past three funds before him, we look at their ages, and then we look at the age of the current king of Oku. So we see a kind of a stepping down in the age. So we are moving. We will see that we're moving from a kind of a generation downwards, and currently the youths of Uko feel empowered. They feel closer to the throne than they have ever been in the past. So we can see that that theme highlighted the fact that hey, it's no longer just the older people who are leading Uko. We are at the generation where the younger people are at the forefront of our development, and it's not just by human design. Yeah, look at the Ngum the third and look at Ngum the fourth. So it is that going down. Even the king before him was a bit younger than Ngum the third. So we
Absolutely.
don't know how the next will be, but that is just what the theme highlighted this year.
Yes, we don't know what the next will be, but our prayer is that may His Royal Highness live long and see the good
This
old days.
may
May
be
He
the
see
lowest.
every-
It is a curve going down. This may be another start rising. Point of we start rising again. We don't know. History will tell.
Absolutely, Vicky. Okay, so the first visit was anticipated even from the previous year. So, how do you feel his presence this year in 2024? How did it influence the convention and the Oku community in the USA?
Yeah, like a joke, it came to fruition, and from time to time, I had to just recall myself. I reminded myself that hey, it is real. Yeah, I didn't. It wasn't apparent to me that it was really happening. Even from day to day, I would just wake up like, hey,
Teach yourself.
it's true that the king is here. Mm. And then even during the convention, from time to time, I'm like, hey, is he the one sitting up there? Is this already happening in United States? And that has been the whole situation about the visit from June 19 when he arrived till yesterday that we bid him farewell. The visit to the States was another peak of the coming to America of our king. That's something I least expected that could happen. And the States made it happen as if it was just something so easy. And I know we may still be coming to that, but like I said, the whole visit here has just been like a dream. And we see that 2 months have just flown by as if it were no time.
Absolutely. So, yeah, the fun of Oku had so many opportunities to talk to his people, to his children. As Ebchio Fai of USA, what was that message that stuck out to you from the fun to his people?
I think the fund highlighted a lot of things, but from my own perspective, I will emphasize three of them. He continued with his message that is carried throughout the tour in Cameroon, which is that of peace. Yeah, he continued to echo that message here, and he had a desire that we don't just remain as we are; we should grow in our numbers. And he suggested ways that we could do that. Either we bring our brothers and sisters from him, if we are able to, or we increase the family sizes here by doing what I've always asked my people to do. Mm. Yeah, Bitani, so bring them in twos, in threes, or in fours. Mm. That was one of the aspects. And the last thing that I want to highlight, which is not the least, is the need for us to develop the spirit to give, given to those who need, given to build our society. And I think this is one of the things that he has pushed since coming to the throne, because he's carried out a lot of developmental projects back in the palace, and he has spurred the people of Oko to have a different view about the development of the kingdom. And with this in mind, I remember what he said in Texas, that we should come back home and build. Yeah, each of us will come back home and build. And there was this question about where to come and build. Uh, if the palace was going to provide
Land for
people
us.
to build on, and the answer was really captivating. Just come, when you are ready, come to the palace. So I want to urge those who might not have thought that it's still possible to build back home to take a move. If you go home and you don't have a place to go to the palace, just go to the palace as we were requested to do. And this is not only to those in the United States, it goes to everybody, all of the Oko people around the world, and even back in Cameroon.
Okay, thank you, Ebchio Fai. We have watching with us Tata Comfort from Virginia. We have Mazi Praise and Worship. She says, God bless Ebchio Fai, OCDA in particular, and OCDA USA in general. I'm proud of your determination to take the Oku culture to the ends of the earth.
Thanks.
And Bachir Derek says it happened and it will happen again. That's talking about the fund's visit. Yeah, and talking about his message of unity, his message of growth. We should grow in numbers. We should even make sure that if we have the means, we should bring other Oku children across to come join us here and grow ourselves and grow Oku. And also the message of sacrifice, that we should give sacrificially for the development of our community. There was also one thing he mentioned about, yeah, still about the growth aspect. Growing numerically, we need everyone on board, I guess. What about those Oku sons and daughters here in the USA who are not part of their meetings, who did not show up, or who do not never show up at the conventions, and who did not even show up to see our father, the fund, their father also?
Yeah, I wonder how they are feeling now. And I think their siblings back home too should be wondering. Their parents back home should be wondering as well. Maybe they delivered white people and didn't know. So their children have come to America and become something else. It is unfortunate. Some want to shy away from the name Oko because of the stigma that has long existed. But I think we are moving past that. Yeah, even if you, because the paradox here is they don't come to OCDA events, to Oko events, but they go to other developmental organizations that are also Cameroon based. And I'm asking myself, do they think that those people are more developed than Oko? Do they think that those places were just developed, or they were just created the way they are? It took the sacrifices from the population to make the places look how they are. And if you think that the programs organized by OCDA don't fit what you want, I think it is just important for you instead to be there and make it happen the way you want than to stay away. Uh, those who are not participating, they need to know that at the end of the day, Uku will just become what we want it to be. And either they catch the train now or they will be late to the station. We will keep moving on. Yeah, we will just have to keep moving on. And uh, if you are not part of it, yeah, you will have yourself to blame. I know some of them are always quick to say, we have done this, we have done that. Meanwhile, they are not part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we need to change that mentality. It is incumbent on every Ukuson and daughter to participate in the development of the kingdom. Uh, I don't know how people feel, but I feel that when I sacrifice a dime towards the well-being of our siblings back home, I feel more comfortable than trying to use that dime on myself. Yeah, if some of these our people who don't want to show a sense of belonging, if they have gone through some of the circumstances like some of us, then they will really understand what it means to be in a certain situation. Yeah, if you have suffered, you will know what it means for others to go through the same situation. And there is no point if we are on earth and we just leave it the way we have met it. I think the best thing to do is to remove the potholes as you move along so that those who are coming after you have a peaceful journey. That's the essence of life. And I'll plead with them to reconsider their situation and join the fold.
Belunji. So, one thing I would summarize in my own words from what you said is Oku can be built without you,
Correct.
but don't let Oku to be built without you.
That is it.
Yes. Oku can grow without your input, but don't let Oku grow without your input. You cannot run away from
Absolutely.
who you are. All right. So I'm going to play a video and watch it, and you tell me what you think about it. Then I'll go to the next question.
Okay.
Sekeka chunu panende, ese jelo ambanse. Sekeka chunu panendo, ese luso chumake. Gebele ngenyambe, gebwike chunge. Gebele bumbi, gebwike chunge, wangenyambe. Ese sang lesi ena we ongenya. We wanna bongote. Ese sang lesi ena we ongenya. We wanna bumbi. Ese sang lesi ena we ongenya. We wanna lunyambe. Ese sang lesi ena we ongenya. We chu yeso. Ese sang lesi ena we ongenya. We bumbi. Jose Compena, Jose Buyae, Jose Duala, Living Yaune, Sang Lesiana, we on Genya, we wanna Bongote, Sang Lesiana, we on Genya, we wanna Bumbi, Sang Lesiana, we on Genya, we wanna Lunyambe, Sang Lesiana, we on Genya, we chu yeso, Sang Lesiana, we on Genya, we Bumbi. Chuba, aha! Mabelo kuo, belo wonu ko moteleji. Gaga no lo ngadi, esi garandi. Fizi bawesen, do bawesen, seko woko mo.
All right. Thank you for watching. So when you were there, I saw you there. You bent your head, you shook your head, you clapped. What were you thinking? What are you thinking right now?
Yeah, it's emotional. Really emotional. That was an emotional moment for me, and I still feel that way right now. I saw what the children here have missed for a very long time, and I saw how connected they became, and Yeah, I can't imagine this coming from our little daughter. Mm. So you should have asked her this question.
Mhm.
Yeah, I asked myself, how long did she plan, prepare to do this?
Interestingly,
I've looked at them each time the His Majesty sits. Some are coming close and running. Because they actually get it. They understand that he is somebody of a high caliber.
yeah.
He is somebody who is treated in a different way. And our daughter merely mirrors that here, showing the love, emotions that every other child would have loved to have. And she represented all the children very well, very well. I I found myself there lost. And then I looked at His Majesty's face and saw something that I least expected. Because, yes, this is a child born in America. She's not been to Uku, out of America so far. Yeah, but look at that connection. And we can see what our children benefited because of the coming of His Majesty to United States, and what our children have been missing. So that connection is there, and I pray that His coming here only multiplies, so that the children actually just live as if they were back in Cameroon.
Yeah, so thank you, Ebchio Fai. That video there, even though I'm the mother of that little girl, I'll answer part of your question. She took just a day, the morning before, the day before, she said she was going to dance in front of the phone,
See?
and I took a video of her practicing, and she asked me a question like, "What if I go there and I get nervous?" I was very surprised, and I said, "I'm going to cheer you on." And when she heard that music, she knew it was her right time, and she did the job. So this
Wow.
is also it was mirrored also in Minnesota. We had children there who were playing the gong, who were dancing in front of the phone. It was mirrored in the DMV area, the little boy who was also dancing. And this is a message to us, the parents. I know I'm the host, but let me say this. This is also a message to us, the parents, that our children are Oku children. Yes, our children are Oku children. Let's
Correct.
not take this away from them.
Correct.
Yeah. And still in line with our theme, building generations, honoring our past, building our future. Our children are the future of Oku, and it's left on us to do the needful.
Correct.
Okay, so now that brings us to the next question. The last, not the last question on the fund's visit, but how did the different OCDA branches receive the fund? What feedback did you gather, and how did the fund feel? I know that's a loaded question, but
Yeah, I think the reception at the branches was outstanding. At every branch, the fun was marveled by the preparations that were made, by the turnout, and I think the fact that we just left from the convention within just a week, and like Texas, who were just a couple of days after the convention, set the ball rolling in a very wonderful way. And I think the fund said it there. He appreciated the executive, because that was a shocker, and that wave just went through the branches until his exit yesterday from Virginia. And I want to take this opportunity to thank all the branches for what they did. From the fund's visit, we can now see that there is a lot of potential within us. We can do a lot of things. We can do a lot of things, and I pray that that mindset should remain in us. Yes. We are not doing what we are doing because we have it in abundance. It is that just that spirit of sacrifice that the founder himself has preached during his visit, and I am excited that that lesson was immediately implemented, even while he was still here. And he too is going home and nodding his head that yes, we have heeded to his words, and it is happening while he is still here. So when you are a teacher and you teach a lesson like this, and students are responding immediately, you go home feeling fulfilled, and that is how our Royal Majesty is going back home. I thank Texas, I thank Minnesota, and I thank Virginia for all what they did. Yes, you made something great. Back home, I keep getting the questions. How many conventions did you have this year? Because at every branch, there was nothing to like differentiate it from what we do at the national level. It all just the same thing, which means that this year we had 4 conventions.
Wow, thank
Remember that we
you.
have always barely struggled to get our national convention going on. But this year we successfully organized 4 of them within 1 month. I really
Interesting.
appreciate the branches for and the members of OCDA for that big sacrifice and uh, their desire to really entertain our Royal Majesty. He felt really at home. Yeah, and I want to recall the fact that while we're leaving Texas, he said it looks like we have not been here enough. We should have added a day. Yeah. And the promise was that next year they will not land in Virginia. They will prefer to go and land in Texas. So
Okay. Okay. So that means we are likely expecting the fun of Oku next year too.
that is why he said at Texas. So I'm not deciding if
Okay.
that was his wish. So it's next time. Next time maybe next year.
Okay. All right. So we have greetings from Tata Comfort. She said, Baby Sweet doing the thing like an Oku girl. We had Percy Pop. He was responding to after reaction. He said, "You don't go mute." You couldn't talk anymore. We had Vicky Monte. She's saying, "My regards to Nji." And Percy Pop says, "This is an indication that for one to be a leader, it's not a matter of where on and how she is brought up. It's a good message to all the parents to transfer their culture to their children in spite of their location. What an Okuman and an Okuman can do should be equal to what an Okuman in America can do."
Correct.
Yeah, so the final question on the fund's visit, we had members of the Oku community in the USA honored with titles. So what does this mean to the future of OCDA-USA or the Oku community in the US?
Yeah, one thing is that the title holders represent the culture of Oko in one way or the other. Those are titles that come from the palace. They do come too from the quiver, and each title holder represents a department. And as title holders, they are meant to safeguard the culture of Oko in those portfolios. By that, it means that our culture is coming closer and closer to us than it has been in the past. And we are going now to know some of the aspects of our culture that we have not known in the past because those channels were not there. And because the channels are there now, we will start practicing what they do at home. We will not just be imagining those things now. They have become a reality. Yes.
Okay,
And
thank you.
our local leaders have also just had channels of communicating to us. So they will have to, they already have the people through whom they can send our messages directly to us.
So this is, in other words, this is a new responsibility on the title holders, on the new title holders.
Correct.
They have to go now to school and learn the standard operating procedures.
It's a big school. It's a big school indeed.
Operate under their titles.
Yes, and they are obliged to no longer carry themselves as they used to carry in the past. Yeah, because those titles come with some dignity. You carry yourself differently. Because now it is, when you do something, they ask, hey, is that not the title holder? Vilo ya, vilo she, vilo fai, vilo former, vilo tamfu. The moment here. So they are going to be held with higher standards than in the past. And it is our society to keep scrutinizing the way they carry those titles, the way they apply them.
Okay, so big shout out and congratulations to all the title holders, but also know that our eyes are on you.
Yes.
Our eyes are on you, my eyes are on you. All right, that takes us to, let me see. Yeah, let me just play one more video for us to see, and then we'll go to... Okay, Ebchio Fai. So people have been asking online, how long did it take for this crew to practice before this live band could be brought?
We intensively took 2 months to work on this, even though the xylophone has been here for almost a year. That was imported from Cameroon. We didn't want to get something just around here. We wanted something that comes with that aroma from our culture too. And thank God, the sound is almost pure. When you play here, I get a different sound.
Okay.
I didn't know this was how nice we entertain you people.
All right. And
Yeah.
another video.
Hey, you have the bar? Hey, baby.
All right. So, yep. So that was another showstopper during the Virginia visit and during the convention. What does that still say to you?
This you can see what we have said so far. The culture is coming closer and closer as the days are going by, and OCDA is expanding in the United States. In their numbers, like the fund requested, you can see those behind the juju. They are all very young guys. They know what it means. They know that is part of our culture, and they really like it. And as Uku people, we can't do otherwise. We just need to move with it. Move with the culture. Our children have to be part of it, and they are proud to be. And that's why they are singling out themselves to call themselves what? Uku Pikindem.
Yes, Uku Pikindem.
And they want to take part in every aspect of our culture. I hear some planning to go back home and polish up their Uku language when things become normal back home.
Interesting.
Wonderful experience.
Okay, thank you, Vicky. So that takes us to the next phase, fundraising. So the fundraising is a very critical component of every organization and every OCDA convention. So this year our target was about 46,000 US dollars. How much did we raise?
I think, like you rightly said, when we start thinking about the convention, we are thinking about a major project. What is the end result of the convention? It's not just a place where we come and enjoy our culture and feel good seeing one another. We do that alongside having a major project at home in mind. And this year we agreed that it is good we finish with the hospital project, which we started some 2 years ago. We provided solar panels, and we saw that the even though that was there, the hospitals back home were still having problems of medication storage. Those that need to be put in a certain temperature still lack those facilities, and we decided to consider that this year to provide some fridges for medical storage. We will be looking at that soon. And then the next thing was to solve the problem of electricity to the population, not just limiting it to the hospitals that are already comfortable now. So we're thinking of seeing how we can generate the hydroelectricity, especially to those, starting with those areas that are far off, remote areas, and have at least a natural resource, the water, that can be used to generate it. And for that, we aimed going to the convention. We had an objective to raise some 46,000 US dollars. And the answer to your question, yes, this year was really different. Really different. We did our best, and looking at the objectives, we pushed and pushed and pushed, even though we didn't clinch our figure. But we went so close. We went so close, and the numbers are still being crunched. But what I can tell you is we are in the neighborhood of that figure.
Awesome. I'll not say more. All right. So you'd say it's a success from your answer. It was a success, the fundraising?
You are very, very successful. And let me highlight the fact that this is an OCDA project. People saw the way we were throwing money here and thought that maybe that is because the fund was here, that was the fund's money. No, that is going for a project. And the fund merely galvanized the process. And we are indeed indebted to him for being here this year and making the fundraiser to take a different dimension. And that concept back home that it was his money, no. He had just helped, just like the fundraiser in Yaoundé, where he was, and they raised money. That money went to OCDA National in Cameroon. It wasn't to the palace. Same thing, we have hold so tight to the money that we raise here. Nothing has gone to the to the fund from it. So just so people are not expecting anything from the fund because of that, it goes into the project.
Okay, so Oku community back home and abroad, the money you saw us spraying here is for the development of Oku. It's not the
Yes.
fund's pocket money.
Correct.
I see Danfu Roland Gum asking, are we expecting the fund in 2025 convention? That question was answered, so you go back and watch this live. We'll not answer it twice. And you're having greetings from Babe Elias Full. He sends greetings to Ebchio Fai. All
Nice.
right. So another question I want to ask about the fundraising in OCDA-USA. What are the most effective strategies that were used to engage people this year to give?
I think going into the convention, we had a lot of meetings. where we wanted everybody to be engaged, but we were still lingering around the status quo.
Mm-hmm.
And the first day of the convention, the cultural evening had a rehaul.
Mm-hmm.
The fund stepped in because they saw the way things were going, and after the activities on Friday, we had a meeting in the night where he raised a number of concerns, and we had to just get another meeting thereafter that same night to see how we change the strategy, and it changed. And Saturday worked extremely well. Sunday was a day of pain because we were living and thinking, is this the end of the convention?
Mm-hmm.
And then the branches took the strategy to their branches and made it just work like magic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that question will be answered next year better because we would have been implementing just some of the strategies that we used, especially at the branch level.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Concerning fundraising again, I have another question. So, as a 501c organization, we have in the past engaged in self-funding where members have to contribute and to make things happen. Are there other ways that we can explore as OCDA-USA, given our status, to come up with more? I know in some places, some people even maybe have their jobs support their charities. How can we incorporate that and other means? Are there other ways we can incorporate to have more funding in OCDA-USA?
Yeah, you just mentioned one of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's every company has a department for corporate development where they set aside money to develop the area where they are based, and it is that kind of money that they look for organizations to sponsor their projects. Yeah, some just give out sums of money to the organization, or some do a matching kind of donations
Mm-hmm.
where their workers donate to their organization, bring the receipt, and then they pay the equivalent of the amount they have contributed. So when you contribute, like my own company, when I contribute 1,000 to OCDA, the in a good year they may say 100 or 200%. When I contribute 1,000, they give 2,000.
Mm-hmm.
Or when they are just doing 100 match, when I contribute 1,000, they just add 1,000 to it when I bring a receipt, and that is how we can reach out to all companies around us
Mm-hmm.
and solicit those funds. If our members are not working in those companies, we just need to write a request. Uh, there are a lot of resources online where we can get in and just put out our project,
Mm-hmm.
and then companies come there every now and then look at what is there. If it ties with what they like to sponsor, they just pick it and then they send a check. So it's something for us to look onto and try. It will always increase our resources.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it will
Yes,
always.
so that's something we can target starting next year.
Next year. That's
Yeah.
correct.
Okay,
But
thank you.
one handicap here is we don't yet have workers that we have that are dedicated to working on our records.
Mm-hmm.
So when we go raise money above 50,000 US dollars in a year,
Mm-hmm.
based on our status, then we no longer just file a simple
Tax.
tax.
Mm-hmm.
We have to file now just like a person. So they need to go through our records and get that. So it becomes more complicated.
Okay.
So if we are targeting that, we need to also plan to now dedicate someone to start working on the records. Yeah.
Okay.
So that should not be a limiting factor. It should
Mhm.
be something to make us grow further. Because if someone is already working there, then we know that we need to raise more money, pay that person, and keep running our projects.
Interesting. Thank you for that clarification, Ebchio Fai. Online, we have greetings from Florence Nganchi from Texas. She says, my regards to Nji. We have Bongo Margaret. She says, congratulations, Ebchio Fai, and to OCDA-USA.
Thanks.
Keep the comments coming. If you have any question for Ebchio Fai, please make sure you drop it. He's available right now to give your answer. And yeah, I think I was about to ask about challenges, but you kind of summed up all of those answers in one. So ending the fundraising slot, how soon is OCDA-USA targeting to start implementing the projects of the hospitals and the electricity? How soon do we want to start work on these projects?
For the hospital, the fridges, we already made the findings. Douala and Baminda are located where we will buy them. So it's something we can do in a single day. And the funds are already there. So once we have somebody who can take them home, that should be done. And then for the hydroelectricity, we started the feasibility project, and we are not yet complete with that. And the authorities need that document for us to proceed. That will be done as soon as possible. And once we submit the feasibility studies to Mines and Power, we will be given the go-ahead and we can start the project. That too should not take us long. The only thing now is the fact that it is the rainy season, and if we try to get the power from the streams or from the falls that are there now, it will not be that which can give us a better idea of what we can have in the dry season. So we will need to wait on that part to calculate the energy that can be delivered from the falls when the rains are gone. Because if we do it now, we get the faulty value, which we may not be able to generate during the dry season. So it's good to get the one from the dry season that will run us through the year without any shortages.
Yeah, that sounds like some groundwork is going on, which is good.
Yes.
Okay, so that was it about the financial part or the fundraising part of the question and answer or the talk. We have a question from Tafu Roland Gum. He says, when will the presentation of Ebchio Fai take place?
It depends on the on when the people, the American people want it. Nteck America, look no Nteck len. Na design Nteck ne na le profile already. Biva time for different color na bate ne. In the bate ko na le Suiza.
Okay, yeah, we have greetings coming from Patience Candy, the president of OCDA, Texas. She says, greetings, G. All right, so we're going to the lessons learned during the preparation of this convention and receiving the fund, reflecting on the entire experience. What were the key lessons that Ebchio Fai learned from organizing this funds visit and the convention?
First, the convention. The convention this year came after the convention of Minnesota, where we thought we had broken bounds. And there we said it was important for us to move to DMV with the same measurement, that we shouldn't reduce the tape, we shouldn't change it. And we had to cut a stick and give Virginia to take along, from which they could measure how far they would prepare for this year's convention. And we instructed DMV that The worst they could do was just to do something to the level of Minnesota. And Minnesota should be their starting point. And if they started there and ended there, we will judge that they have not done anything. And I think by every indication, they took it to another level, thereby challenging Texas. Yes, that work doesn't just come without a lot of difficulties. Yeah, there's a lot of work put into it. There's a lot of finances put into it. And just the preparation from the families to come is another very big handicap. And again, I take this opportunity to thank all those who have made it a duty to always sacrifice, bring the children to the convention and the various families. It is never, none of it has been in vain. It pays off because we see the way our children are already engaging into the culture. And yes, I feel really happy for the families that have sacrificed. It is not in vain. We are seeing the results. And I just keep encourage everyone to just start planning now. Look for a piggy bank and begin to drop $100 coin every month into it. And by last weekend of July next year, we would have been prepared. I think if you listen to the echoes, during the convention, there was this desire that we increase the number of days of the convention. 3 days are becoming too small for us to showcase our culture, enjoy ourselves, and then put our heads together and ponder upon the development of our kingdom. People are seeing that those 3 days are really short, and indeed they are short. Because this year, former general hosted a day prior to the convention. His compound was packed full, and people felt like, oh no. So I think Tamfu should be listening because he made a plea and people heard it, that the doors of Texas homes will be open for an entire week next year. Some of us will be coming much earlier than 1 week. Yeah,
wow. There's going to be a mass relocation.
Yeah, the fund is just increasing by the day, and the days are becoming too short.
Okay.
That preparation comes with a lot of sacrifices, financial wise, energy wise, and we thank those who have been sacrificing in one way or the other. Yeah, and there's just a lot of input into it before we see the things happening as they do happen. There are people who spend sleepless nights ensuring that the various aspects come together to make what we see live, which is very commendable. I do appreciate their efforts.
Thank you. So, what feedback did you receive from the attendees and participants that might shape the future of OCDA-USA?
Yeah, the first thing, time is still our problem. Even though our event was in the same hotel this year, there are people who were still always in their rooms and waiting to hear that things have started. And the question is, who do you think will be there for things to start before you come? Because you need to be there. Others are also waiting on you to go there and set the ball rolling. But that notwithstanding, I think that we manage it better this year than it has always been in the past, where we had a different event hall and then different hotel location. Yeah, and we need to work hard on the issue of time and then respect the timings for our activities. Yeah, we'll need to work harder on ensuring that we don't just start preparing for an activity when we are asked to, because when we do that, we leave a lot of gaps, and our time just flows away for nothing. So when an activity is taking place and you know you are number 2, number 3, you start preparing, so that when they are coming out, you just get it. In that way, we save a lot of time and leave much room for enjoyment.
For after party.
Yeah.
For, I was going to put up a slide, but it's for something reason it's malfunctioning.
No,
And
sorry.
but no problem. You have a question coming from Florence. Are we thinking of increasing the number of days officially in Texas? Officially is the keyword.
that that is something that we'll decide at our General Assembly. Yeah, we will have to discuss that and see how we can make it work. And by increasing a day means we need to also increase the activities that will take place, that will be dedicated to that new day.
Okay, so let me show you a picture. Oh, let me see. Yeah. Are you able to see this?
Yes.
Yes. So what does that say to you?
It shouldn't be to me. It should be to the person carrying it. That is the president, Texas branch president. I know she understands that that is the tape for the next convention, and it's coming from Virginia, where we stretched it. So going to Texas, the minimum Texas should do is Virginia level.
Okay.
The minimum Texas should do is Virginia level. When you go beyond it, that is our expectation. And that is how we keep building, growing. So that is our measure. That is the same. What increased there is just the flame. We brought that from Minnesota. The flame was shorter. Now it has just grown.
Okay.
So the flame has increased. Texas should just blow it up.
All right. I'll show you another picture. Since the slide could not come up, I'll just show the picture.
Oh.
Yes. What was going on here, and what does this mean to you?
That is part of what should have happened at the convention. But His Royal Majesty stole the show. We couldn't be standing up to compete with him. That's the fashion parade.
Where you officially won.
That's the fashion parade, which we have prepared for more than a year, because the winner last year made a lot of noise and was banking just on his last victory and not putting any more effort into it. When His Majesty showed up, we disappeared because we couldn't measure up to him. And coincidentally, during his visit to Virginia last weekend, he just abruptly asked all the men to stand out and then compete, redo the fashion parade. And that is where all of us again had to go into the competition. And since I had my plans long ago, I just brought them to bear.
You are ready. Okay, and this one.
Yes, gear pool. That is one of the achievements for this year's convention, and I again appreciate the editor and all those who wrote the articles. The magazine this year was really rich, and it is one of those things that brought in the highest amount of money to bolster the fundraiser. And coincidentally, I have the editor-in-chief in front of me.
A very dynamic editor-in-chief.
So I really appreciate the work you put into that. And all the writers. I heartily thank you for the sacrifice, because you don't know how much you helped OCDA-USA to raise funds this year. And the quality of the articles still gives our readers a big opportunity to get to know more about our culture and even the society at large. Yeah, I'm very happy with the diversity of the articles that were published this year, which made it to be a selling part of our convention. Thank you very much, our editor.
You're very welcome, Ebchio Fai. Thank you. And so another question, based on this year's experience, what would you do differently in planning future conventions and high-profile visits like the visit of the Fund of Oku?
I will pray that next time when we have the opportunity to host the fund in our convention, let he be entirely dedicated to us. This year, he was just graduating from the course in New York the same day that we are starting our convention. And we saw the hinge where the program started before he arrived. And if we had a handle on that, that would not have happened. And I pray that next time they should have the opportunity just to come for us and enjoy the convention from start to end, and allow our people to give him a better service than what we gave on day one. Then secondly, I know that it's almost like part of our culture when it comes to contributions, that we always keep it to the tail end. That doesn't help us at all. It makes work so difficult, because most of that money we need to use it in planning. Before we get into the convention, the money is supposed to have been spent. But when we keep it so long, it makes it difficult for that to happen. And then we come in and we don't get the right services that we should have had. Given that the convention is more like our own cruises that people take to go to islands and enjoy themselves, we first of all dedicate that time to come together in our convention. And it will not be good that we give anything short of what should be fulfilling to our people. So I plead that we should start just now to prepare for Texas. People should start keeping, like I said before, keeping aside even $10 or whatever they have. And those who have, anytime you have it, just chip it into the finance department and keep it behind you. In that way, it will facilitate our preparations and make the experience much more better.
Yeah, so thank you, Vicky. We are coming to the close of our chat. I know you're also monitoring the fund's travel, so I'm going to be respectful of our time here. And so as we move forward from the convention 2024, Maryland 2024, what are the next steps for OCDA-USA in continuing the work for building the future generations?
Yeah, we will continue to work with the branches to see what their plans are, where OCDA National can step in and help. And the priority for me is let the branches see how they can grow their branches. And there's no way you can grow your branches by taking people from another branch. If you do that, the sum total is zero. You would have not increased the number of people in USA. OCDA would have just remained zero. So we need to go back to the old strategies we already know, bring more people in. The DV is there. That is, I know Texas has done that over the years. I think we need to go back to it and just multiply it, see how many people we can bring in through that, and then let's look for avenues, scholarship avenues for those who are students back home, and enable them apply and join us here. That's the only way we can increase our numbers. And then there is the other natural one that the fund has prescribed, which I will say, go give it a try. Even if you have retired, go back and try it.
That message goes back to Ebchio Fai, who is the king of multiplication. So
Yeah, the recipe is there. I can give to those who want to apply it.
all right. So I'm going to play one last music before we go. Not the last one, the last but one. All right. Yeah, so what does that bring to your mind?
That the potential are just enormous. It happens at home, it happens here. I appreciate Shea Baichim for keeping that part of the culture going. And I think she serves as an ambassador for our musicians back home. Those are people who need our support. And I pray that if any of us has any possibility, any opportunity to give a helping hand to our musicians back home, let them do. Yeah, we need to help them expose their work and get to a level where they can become very competitive. That is not happening yet, and they need to step up their game, and that can only be with our help. Baichim is here. That is not even a side business for her. She's just doing it for fun. I mean, because when you look at what she does as her own job, you can't believe that she can set aside time again to take upon herself this part of the culture. So that is something to really appreciate.
So the keyword I'll draw from that is we need to be intentional. There's never going to be enough time to do anything, but if you're dedicated and you're intentional about it, you can make it work. And also, it's also a big shout out to the Oku artists, music artists in particular. We enjoyed a lot of your music during the convention. Yeah, and many things happened because of you. So it's Oku Cultural and Development Association, and you bring our culture through music. So we praise you. We give a big shout out to all of you. I don't want to start naming names because I'll obviously forget and get a bad name for that.
Just all of them.
All of them.
They are doing a good job. And when time reaches, we will also.
Yeah, so we are listening to Master Banyas, even as we listen to his music a lot because we're welcoming the fun during this visit. So on that note, I don't know if you have a final word for the Oku population watching and those here in the USA who people are still going to watch this after now.
So again, I just appreciate all what they have done this time. They have broken the bounds and they did a marvelous job welcoming His Royal Majesty, giving him a good time here. And like it is always said, departing, separating is always like an attack of fever. And that is exactly how His Royal Majesty felt at the airport yesterday. It is thanks to the warm welcome, the fellowship that he had with us here in the United States. And yesterday, it was also an opportunity for him to show the other side that they also can smile broadly. Mhm. And that is just the weight that we have driven into him. And like he said, accept accept his stance and continue to do what we have done so far.
Mm-hmm.
He said if it were possible, once in a while he will want to be here. It's not a matter like the question was asking, when will he be here? So like he has started, I think it now depends on him. Anytime he wants to come, he knows where Texas is, he knows where Minnesota is, and it will be a good thing for us to just wake up one morning and hear that the phone is in Texas. I will start scrambling.
Yeah.
So that will only happen because of the hospitality we have shown him throughout the stay here in the United States. I know this time it was challenging because there were a lot of things we needed to do because we have never had the opportunity to do. But with time, if he comes again next year, there will be the number of people doing the Mbunu form would have dropped. So it will no longer be something that everybody is trying to do it.
mm-hmm.
So it will be better for His Majesty to multiply the number of visits so that we kill down some of these things that have been piling up here for a very long time. And I appreciate the fact that we understood it and we did just what we could do within the limited time and means, and allowed the rest for the future, which we pray that should not be long. Uh, I will also add that let's continue to sacrifice. Let those who have not yet joined the bandwagon reconsider their situation and give a second thought to it and join the people of Oko
Mm-hmm.
to develop our kingdom. I really appreciate the time that you've accorded me this morning to go through these things, and I can't thank you enough because through this we get to be known, and the things we are doing are also being known by the people. They also understand the limitations we have and how far we can go. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I pray that we, as the OCDA community, we should take enough rest and start preparing for Texas because Texas will soon be here. Thank you very much.
I was going to say goodbye, but I will not. There was a key question I left out about the Oku youth. I know Ogda in Cameroon has the Oku youth. It has Oku women. How is that coming to play? How is that happening here in the US?
Yes, after the convention, there was awareness. The youth really saw the desire to come together. For now, they have a platform that they have created, and they are already talking to one another through it, and that is just a medium where they will start building, seeing what they can do as part of OCDA, and from there, I think it will translate to having their own leadership, and then things will start from there. I have not had the opportunity to talk to them yet, but I think in the days ahead, I will try to understand what their plans are, and then guide them. I know we have the funds representative in the diaspora responsible for the youth. So when they come together and they start talking, I will understand where they want to go, and then I will let them get with the diasporian representative.
Okay.
More
What about the women?
the women, that is a difficult one, but the women have constituted themselves as well. I don't know if they have touched base with the home branch, but that information was requested by the OCDA national women's representative, and information was given. So I've not had an opportunity to get with them or to visit them in one of their meetings, but they are already ruling as a group.
And that begs the question also, Vicky. So does OCDA-USA kind of mimic the functioning of OCDA in Cameroon? I know they're separate entities with separate legal documents, but does OCDA-USA mimic or tend to, or do they have a collaborative relationship, or how is
Yeah,
it
you
going?
just said it's a collaborative relationship. It's not like one is under the other. Yeah, it's just in terms of collaboration. And we try to, as much as possible, mimic the structures back home so that that collaboration doesn't get stifled by the differences in the look of the organization.
Yeah. And the very last, I promise, question. My questions are never ending wherever I find myself. The final question. What do you say? I saw how different communities, then saw the Wimboom, the Ngoketunja, Babanki, different communities, which I can't even name, the Mbiame, how they integrated and received the fund, took part also in the convention. What do you have to say to that? I didn't want us to leave that out.
Yeah, that would have not been good, but that is one aspect of collaboration that came in uniquely this year. We've not had that kind of collaboration in the past, and it happens to come in at a time where OCDA-USA and Noni Beerview are also working on a collaboration platform where they intend to have a convention of the Boy Convention, incorporating all the subdivisions and the development organizations in the subdivisions together. That's something that we think should happen by 2026. And when we see the collaboration from other communities already coming in, it means that that's something we can do, and that is something that is very important. Going forward, I think these communities have to, when they are planning their events, they should also put in consideration that other organizations exist and will want to be part of their conventions, because we saw what results that can produce. It shouldn't only be for OCDA, it should be for every organization. We have the same objectives, we come from the same place, and our culture is almost the same. So when we come together, it is a plus for all of us. I really appreciate the energy that BFU put into the activities of OCDA this year. While in Texas, the national president of BFU had a one-on-one with the fund. They had the vice president represent BFU again at Minnesota, and one of the executive members flew in from DC to have a fellowship with the fund in Minnesota. And that is really recommendable. And I think that is the kind of collaboration we should be looking for. And we are the same people, and there is nothing that divides us more than what we are longing to do back home, development. And when you look around, you see that most of us schooled in the same schools. Yeah, we know each other, and we have lived with each other. And there is no reason why we shouldn't just put back our hands together and take it to the end. Build Boy Division. Take it to a different level. The women community shocked the entire OCDA community when they performed the Manjong dance. That was like a choir. I've never seen that.
I was
Never
tempted to
seen
do a
that.
manjong here, but I don't know if it's allowed.
So I really appreciate the collaboration that existed this year, and I pray that it continues. I extend my thanks to all the communities that turned out, supported OCDA, and we did what we did. We are waiting for your turn. When it comes, don't let us out.
All right. So we are hoping that His Royal Majesty the Fount of Oku should be touching down soon. Any idea if he's there yet? Are you monitoring
I
the flight?
I can see him calling.
Okay.
So
Okay. So
he should be in Douala now.
all right. Okay.
Yes, he just landed in Douala now.
Okay. So
So
is Douala the final stop for to?
no, he has a layover in Douala of around 50 minutes to 1 hour.
Okay. All right.
So it's a wonderful coincidence that we are talking and we can officially report that His Majesty is back in Cameroon.
Okay. So
Thank
over
you
to
very
the
much
Cameroon
for giving us
community.
that opportunity and letting us follow his traces through the program until we are able to report. If the Quifon were in Yaoundé, in Douala, Quifon would have been the one sounding the Kimba. But we know that Quifon has 8 eyes. So if the Kimba was to sound, it should be sounding already in the palace now, announcing the fact that they are back in Cameroon.
All right.
I really appreciate what Uku and Beyond has done. Until they are announcing the safe journey of our king back home right here on the platform.
We're in Oku and we are beyond Oku.
You are really beyond.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Ebchio Fai, Victor Ndifon, the president of OCDA-USA, for giving us 1 hour 21 minutes of your time on a Monday. It is really appreciated. We thank you for throwing light to the entire community of what the convention was like, the challenges we had, what we overcame, and what is lying ahead of us in the future. We saw moments during this program where Ebchio Fai almost cried. I think he wiped a tear even here live. And we look for such moments in the future of OCDA USA, and would only go bigger from here. So for everybody who joined us live, we say thank you. We look forward to collaborating with you. If you have something to advertise, reach out to us, especially our music artists. We are doing free adverts, free promotions for you. Want to see how we can help you build yourself and build Oku. And so with that said, have a good night. We hope those welcoming the fund give him an awesome reception. And he's back in your care, so take care of our fund for us. We don't want any scratch on his body because we sent him back safe. So we love you and we pray for you. Have a good one, everybody.
Thank you very much.